Hey guys, Foxy here, and this will be part 4, I believe, of What If Izuku Was a Vigilante. Now, I'm going to try to talk quietly because my sister is trying to go to bed, and I want to make this video now because I think I worked out the kinks in this episode. Because the last time we left off was when Izuku ran away from the police when they tried to catch him, and that's when we left off. And I want to apologize because when I went back into that video, I don't know what I said or why I said it, but I kind of made Izuku into a little bit of it. Well, how do I explain this? If you go back into the video and listen to it, you will understand what I mean. I kind of made Izuku a cannibal, just a bit. But that is blamed on his siren side. You know, sirens, they are the badass mermaids of the sea who will enchant sea merchants or people who are on the sea into the water and eat them. Yeah, those type of sirens. And kind of like from the Pirates of the Caribbean. You remember those sirens? I can't remember which Caribbean it was, but I know it's from one of them. Ugh, I hate my memory. Guys, I have a terrible, terrible memory. I swear, a baboon has a better memory than me. Maybe a toddler, who knows? But, this is the brain I got. And also, guys, you might hear some scratching sounds. It's me working on a poster for Afro-Asian class. 5 facts of Africa. And, yeah, right now I'm working on that. As due today, or it's actually due tomorrow in the morning, I believe, or after school. Can't remember. Like I said, memory of a baboon or a goldfish, whichever one you prefer. But I have to take a picture of my poster, send it to his account, and, well, he has it. And right now I am working on the last picture, so you'll definitely be hearing some scratching sounds. It should not take forever, hopefully. Who knows? But we're just gonna hop right into this video. Our PLV. Izuku ran, his feet hitting the earth with a solid thunk. Over and over again, his breaths came out in shallow gasps as his heart beated like a drum, as his mind spun and spun and spun non-stop. Something was wrong. Something was beating, writhing underneath Izuku's skin like a monster, tearing at the seams of Izuku's skin. His mind was being clawed, ripped, and eaten apart. He couldn't think, he couldn't breathe. He was just running as he felt the monster within inside him grow and writhe like a beast. Whatever restraints that held back the monster was gone. Now there was just it clawing, ripping, tearing Izuku apart. He couldn't think. He couldn't. Something was wrong. Something was terribly wrong. He could feel the copper in his mouth. It strangely felt and tasted so good. It made Izuku's mouth water. Soon, he realized what's going on. Over the years, he researched about sirens. Sirens were, what like the doctor said, badass mermaids of the sea. But sirens, they sing a lovely song, and their voice attracts the sea merchants or sailors that come into their territory. They sing the song, and it hypnotizes the men and have them go overboard into the freezing depths of the ocean. And the sirens would swim and claw, rip, and tear into the men and eat them. It shouldn't be surprising to Izuku that he has that aspect of the siren. And he is also part dragon, who also primarily eats meat. So now Hazuku is trying to shove that monster back into its cage. But it was like water. Every time he pushed, it would only slip through his fingers. Without Hazuku realizing it, he fell. He landed on a beach. It was covered in trash. It was filthy. But his stomach was rumbling, growling, and screaming for food. Voices in his head were screaming at him to run back, to eat, to feed, to quench his hunger. But this time, Zuko was able to push and shove it, just enough for him to hop into the water. The water was cold, bone-chilling cold. It made Zuko's spine shake. No, it shivered, as his bones rattled and froze. But Zuko was breathing. He was breathing. He could feel something growing on the sides of his neck. Zuko briefly realized it was gills. His heart was beating faster. But Zuko couldn't pay attention. He was just swimming downwards, as deep as he could go, as far away as he can from civilization. He knew the monster within inside him was growing at a rapid pace. It was growing and wanting food. It wanted human flesh. But soon Zuko was far away from the surface. Now he was in the dark. The only light he got was from the moon. Zuko realized then he had a tail. The tail was long and smooth, with beautiful green scales. They were beautiful. The scales were primarily dark green with hints of light in them. But there were dark scales, black as the night, scattered over his body. It kind of reminded Zuko of his freckles. The black spots were small and really did look like freckles. And his fins were long like a fan. They were beautiful. But as Zuko realized, on the ends of his fins was this sharp, very sharp blade. It wasn't made out of metal, but it was very sharp. It cut Zuko's finger. But Zuko couldn't even pay attention to the throbbing pain in his finger as he saw the red liquid flow out from his finger. It was such a pretty red. Azuka shook his head quickly. No, don't think like that. Don't think like that. Don't think like that. He chanted to himself as a spell, trying so hard to not fall into the desire of flesh. Azuku was doing better, but then something deep within him was warning him like a bell. He quickly swam to the right as a humongous shark, to Zuko's point of view, looked. It was dark. Because of the limited light, thanks to it not being sunny out, so the shark looked menacing and scary. Zuko gulped, but the siren within him was writhing with happiness. It chanted again and again, food, eat, I want to eat. It chanted again and again like a song on repeat. Zuko could do nothing but comply to it. It was that or eat a bunch of innocent humans that don't deserve to have their livelihoods taken away from them. And this shark looks old and beat up. So Zuko did what anyone else would do. Or, well, in his situation, he leapt, swam quickly to the shark, biting down on the shark's side. He latched on to the top fin that was on the shark's back. The shark swam and tried to dislodge Zuko from its back. but it didn't work. Izuku took a large bite, that easily crumbled in his mouth. Without Izuku realizing it, his teeth were sharpening to little sharp points. No, they weren't that little, like needles, but they were pointy and sharp like blades. It easily tore into the shark. Tearing into the shark ceases any movements. Then Izuku started to feast in peace. He let the siren do what it was supposed to do, to feed and eat and ravage the creature. In Izuku's clear mind, he would be disgusted at this vulgar eating habit. But since Izuku is not in the right mind, he didn't complain. He just ate and ate and ate until his stomach bulged. And until he felt like he was going to throw up the food that he shoved down his throat. With Izuku's unstable mind, he just swam into a little cave. It had nothing special to it. It was just empty, barren, and that was it. It was just barren, empty, and so cold. But Izuku didn't care. He lay down on the rocky surface and fell asleep. Memories of long ago, before all this happened, before his stepmother came into the picture. It was him and his father on the playground. Izuku was playing tag with his dad as they ran around in circles, to Izuku's amusement. Izuku always thought his father was stupid, but he wasn't. Hisashi was never stupid, he only played. And Izuku loved that about his dad. His dad always made him feel so smart and intelligent. And Izuku appreciated that. And his mom was always there as a pillar of wisdom and food. His mom always made the best food, always made the best dinners, lunches, and breakfasts. And made Izuku's favorite food, katsudon. It was lovely, and the flavors would explode within his mouth and make him feel like he was in heaven. It was a beautiful, beautiful meal each time he had it. Their family was small but lively, filled with such emotions everyone else would envy. They were mates after all, and mates make the best pair. They always fell so deeply in love with each other that would make anyone jealous and envy their relationship, because it was so pure, so lovely. Everyone else would be jealous of their love because no one can have love like theirs. A mate is a soulmate. Mates are people who will understand you more than your own family will, more than you will. They'll be there to guide you to the right path, or a path you choose, and they will stick by your side like glue once they meet you. And that was the happy times, fun and laughter, times where they would play, and times where they would just relax. It was never a dull moment in the Midoriya household, never. Then when the tragedy happened, Izuku lost everything. He lost his father's love. He lost his father's attention. It broke Izuku the first time he realized it. It broke him. It hurt so deep to the bone, and his stepmother, Anna, would rub it in. The twins weren't that bad. They were good kids. But now, since Izuku was thinking about it, he didn't see the twins. He rarely saw them. But they could have been a part of his quirk, or her quirk. Then he remembered the first beating he got from his stepmother. The beating was terrible. She clawed at his back with her long, sharp fingernails as her eyes glowed with wrath. Her eyes were not innocent. They were not kind like his mother's. They weren't green and lively. Her eyes were just evil, disgusting, filthy to look at. They were nothing. Izuku's anger started to boil within his own mind. How his father would leave him alone with Anna. How he wouldn't look back. But Izuku remembered, under some type of mind control. Some type of illusion. But more memories of the terrible, terrible things she would do to him. His father would be in the room, but never looked, never ever turned his head to Izuku. Izuku wanted to hate his dad. He just wanted to, with all his being, but he couldn't. That was his dad, the last semblance, or was the last semblance of his family. But now he's gone. Now Izuku is truly, truly alone, and has no one at all. Izuku was awoken from his slumber by coldness. It was just cold. Cold, so cold. Izuku, he started to remember what happened last night. How he came home to the smell of copper. How he came home to his stepmother on top of his father's chest, driving a knife deep within his chest, as she laughed with glee. Since Izuku can remember stuff clearly now, he remembered what she said. You should have loved me. You should have loved me. Why do you love Inko so much? She's just a weak, pathetic person. I was there for you in the beginning. Don't you remember, Hasashi? Don't you remember? Don't you remember? Anna growled with insanity. And those kids I had with me, they were just a temporary illusion. My quirk, oh Hasashi, you forgot. Oh, you truly forgot. My quirk is called hypnosis. I'm able to make you hypnosed into my web of lies. I made you believe, and I made you see the kids, and how I made you believe that your son, Izuku, was nothing but a failure. You should have believed me when he was a failure. But yet you let him stay, and you just couldn't get rid of that last semblance of that whore. You just couldn't. Now look at what you made me do, baby. Look at what you made me do. No, we're just gonna die like this. Or you're gonna die, I'm gonna live, and hopefully find a better man. But a person who will actually love and cherish me, unlike you. We could have had a family. We could have been so much more together. You chosen me over her. Then the memories of him lashing out on Anna as he clawed and bit at her, as he tore the flesh from her bones. Or well, no, tear the flesh from her bones? No. He ate her heart, or at least took a bite of it. His mouth starts to water at the taste of meat that entered his mouth. He remembered the taste. It was disgusting. No, it was complicated. Meat tasted fantastic, but something in the blood just tasted foul. But his stomach, the siren then wanted more, craved more. But Ezekiel knew it was wrong. But the monster inside of him was begging, clawing, ripping at his skin, demanding more. Suki was starting to lose it. He was, yet again. But Suki was able to clamp down on it. He got out from the sea And look, the trash was sky high. He was unable to see the road him here. He lost it all, right? He lost his mother, now his dad. Now he's truly alone. And now the police officers think it was him. And Izuku ran. He ran. No, his hoard! Izuku realized that he left his belongings at home. Now the dragon within him was screaming and demanding him to go back to his cave. No, not his cave. No, he's not a wild beast who would basically rip anyone apart if they dare intrude on his domain. No. He's a civilized monster. No, not a monster. A civilized being. He's able to, well, be normal. He's not a dragon. He's a Tsukumadoria. And he will not basically destroy the entire world if someone entered his home. No. Do that. He'll just sneak back into his home. Yeah, that's a good plan. Sneak back, take what he wants, and then what? He has nowhere to go. And if anyone found him, he would probably be thrown into Tartarus and left to rot. He can't have that. No. He has a life to live. And now he's free. And he can't go back to Jack. No. Jack will be accused then, and he'll lose everything. He would truly lose everything, right? Izuku wanted to sob. He wanted to break down in sobs. Gasps and sobs. Wails. Izuku couldn't think no more. He really couldn't. Everything was just moving too fast for his little mind to comprehend. Today was supposed to be normal. He was supposed to go back home, have his father ignore him, his stepmother being a complete asshole, and the brothers just to be, well, there. But Zuckerberg was nice, very nice, and Izuku loved his name. It was very comical for him. But that won't happen now. It won't ever happen. Suck up, just suck it up, Izuku said to himself as he swallowed down a sob. He starts to walk. He's going to walk around his new home. Yes, the beach, the filthy beach, will be his new home for now. Izuku has watched enough TV shows to realize that you cannot stay in one place for too long because, one, you're a wanted criminal, even though Izuku did nothing other than, well, possibly, he did kill his stepmother, and took a pretty good chunk out of her heart. And, everything's not looking too good for him. So, he's just going to stay here for a month or two. Or maybe until the beach is clean. Yeah, Izuku is going to clean the beach. He can't. Something within him just can't handle the filth. Absolutely cannot. Something was just... how do you put it? Something was demanding and physically it was hurting Izuku to actually clean up the damn beach. Yeah, you heard that correctly. Physically hurting Izuku. How, you may ask? His heart was, it felt like it was being squeezed. And, basically was about to burst into a spray of blood and gore. Okay. Need to find a home, need to find a place with shelter, so no rain can get on me, even though it's not half bad. And, Then a beautiful thought was slammed right into his face. I could just live in the sea, stupid me. but I need parts. I need to make that cave entrance seem like a home. Then Izuku decided, well, find a bunch of junk here and make that little cave entrance my actual home. Izuku was just now going with the flow. He couldn't really, do anything but go with the flow, since he, was lost. He really didn't know how to do anything right now. He was just going with it. Even though he knew Izuku should think about a plan, think of how to actually clear his name. But how do you clear a name when everyone else just thinks of you as the monster? Yeah, Izuku gets it. He was covered in blood and you could see blood oozing from his mouth. And Izuku was not hurting, so it was a logical conclusion to think that Izuku did something. It was logical, but at the same time, really, it wasn't. But, well, that was the new life for him. So for months, for a long few months, Izuku cleaned up the beach little by little. And Izuku, he was eating. He was eating the fish in the sea, so his muscles, or he was gaining muscle. It wasn't bulky muscle, it was more of compact muscle. He looks frail and weak, delicate like a flower. But those small little muscles were compacted into a small little thing you barely would even glimpse at. But the muscle is a powerhouse. With one good punch, you're dead meat. But Izuku's cravings weren't calming down. Even though he eats boatloads of fish, he was still hungry. Izuku knew what he was hungry for, but Izuku, he really didn't want to eat human flesh. He was human. Humans don't eat other humans. They don't. They really don't. It's raw and savage, like a beast, and Izuku does not want to be a beast. He doesn't want to be that monster. He really doesn't. Internally, he would cry, sob, and wail at the thought of him just eating another human being. But slowly, he's coming to terms with it. He just needs human flesh, and then he's going to be fine, correct? Correct? Right? Hey guys, Foxy here, and this will be the ending of part 4, I believe. I'll have to double check. So if it is part 5, sorry, I got the wrong number. But yeah, we are having a kind of a weird, twist. Originally, I was not planning to have Izuku be a cannibal, or is he really a cannibal? Well, I kind of guess he is, because he is human, but it is a part of his quirk. I really have no idea. Because if you think about it, Izuku will be part siren, if you think about it in a logical way. But at the same time, he's human. I really don't get it. I really don't get it. But, yeah. Originally, he wouldn't be like that. He would just be a crazy kid who just throws himself into danger because he has nothing to really live for. But I got in the rush of emotions and that just slipped out. So now we're kind of just going with the flow with this. Oh my god. So, if you like this video, please tell me down below in the comments. Because really, I don't know if I made the right decision. Right now, I'm just going with the flow, what feels right to me. But, yeah. But I am going to give you guys a little note. Do not eat human flesh. Please do not, because studies have shown that you will sick. I mean, very, very sick. I mean, to the point, actually, I don't know to the point, but I think you would physically not be okay if you eat human flesh. you'll probably throw up your entire stomach and probably a little more. No, I have not looked up any cannibal stuff. Like I said, it just flowed out and I have had no time to actually look up anything of this. Oh, and guys, I have a very important announcement for you. I am going to be reading or listening to a psychology book. If you're wondering why, well, I think psychology will actually help me with these videos and my daily life because I'm planning to be a businesswoman. And with being a businesswoman, you are going to see well, I think you're going to see a lot of underhanded tactics. And you will need to know the body language of whoever you're meeting. And, well, you have to understand what the heck is happening with their body, what they're saying, and basically that. And you have to learn how to manipulate them into your games. So I have to learn that, or I don't have to. I want to learn that because one, I do not want to be scammed. I do not want to go into bankruptcy because I failed to actually understand what was happening. I don't want that to happen. No, thank you. But the thing that comes in with psychology being good for my stories is that Azuku will have to be that very smart person. And I can't just go with the flow on this. I have to learn. I have to try to integrate this into my stories. But yeah, I hope you get the point. I hope you all have a good night or day. I'm going to eat my dinner. Hopefully make another chapter or episode of this series. And guys, please tell me down below if you actually like this idea. And guys, no, he will not be a cannibal forever. Well, hold on. I'm trying to think about this. Because one, yeah, he won't be a cannibal forever. I don't want that because, actually, thinking about it now, I'm not really too uncomfortable with it. And it's probably my story self saying, it's okay, it's part of the story. But I think logical me would say, this is terribly wrong, you should not do this. And if I'm probably telling this to someone else's face, I would probably never say it. But, yeah. For now, we're just going with the flow. So, toodaloo, everyone.